Hey guys, this is Dr. McDonald. I'm going to be your instructor for AMP2 lecture and for some of you for the lab as well. Okay, the semester starts Tuesday the 27th, so obviously we're not going to have class on Monday. Wednesday the 28th, I had a prearranged appointment that I cannot get out of. Because of that, I'm going to do this video going over the syllabus and showing you where everything is and getting you off to a good start. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the schedule. As I say, my name is Dr. McDonald. My office is in 217. That is right next to our lab, 216. If you don't know where it's at, I will be glad to show you when I get back. Now, I do have an office phone, but I'm not in my office a lot. A lot of times I am just in the classrooms or the lab or here or there. So you can call me, but I'm going to be honest with you, you will get a much faster response if you use my email right here. I usually check my email. If I'm anywhere in front of a computer, I usually keep my email open and watch for that. I'm pretty fast about responding. I will respond on the weekend, but I do have some other things I've got to do. So I will get back with you though. About that though. There are federal laws regarding educational record privacy. Because of that, the only way I can discuss your educational records with you, if we're not exactly right there in person, I need to know that it's you. The only way I can do that is if you're sending me an email through the school email. You can't send me a whoisit@gmail.com. I can't talk to you like that. I have to ignore it. Send it through your school email account, and we'll be able to, communicate and keep these things open. Of course, you can talk to me at school almost any time, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But the email is the way we do it. Now, I also, whenever I make a class-wide announcement, I will put it on the announcement part of Blackboard, but at the same time, Blackboard will automatically send you an email with that announcement. You are expected to check your email every day. If I make an announcement and tell you something and you don't check your email, that's a lick on you guys. That's part of your responsibility. So let's keep our lines of communication open. We're going to be in room 320. It's just off that big fancy atrium on the front. So pretty. You can't miss it. The numbers are posted on the doors. It's going to be easy to find. And if you have any trouble, again, you can get with me and I'll be glad to show you. We're Monday, Wednesday, 9 to 10:15. Now, Monday the 26th is actually before the semester starts. Semester starts on a Tuesday. I have no idea why. So that means that our first meeting would have been on the 28th. Unfortunately, I have an appointment I cannot get out of, so I will have to do this video, and our actual first meeting will be the first Monday in June. But you need to go through this. You need to listen to this because there will be a syllabus quiz. And if I were you, I would know the stuff on here because it's going to be important. Okay, mostly we're going to be face-to-face, guys. I think that actually works better for this kind of stuff. Now, I have a lot of videos, and some people use those as a substitute for coming to class. That's almost uniformly turned out to be a bad idea, because even though those videos are there, there is a supplement to what we do in class, not a replacement. You're adults, you make your own call, but I'm telling you that if you don't come to class, then again, it's going to be on you. That's all I can tell you. As far as materials and supplies, not really much. You'll need a computer with internet access to stay in touch with everything. And if you don't have one, you can go to the Success Center. They've got those that they'll let you use. Occasionally, we'll do a WebEx meeting for which you'll need speakers and microphone and a webcam. I think almost everybody's cell phone works that way, so I don't really see that being a big problem. The required textbook is a download. It's free. And I actually have that same textbook. I've got the chapters broken down on Blackboard, so you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. You can actually buy a printed copy of this, I think, off Amazon, but that's just up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Okay, as far as the AMP2, we're going to pick up where we left off at AMP1. We left off with the nervous system. Next thing we're going to do is the hormones, which are going to be the endocrine system. We're going to do endocrine. We're going to do the heart and the blood vessels and the blood, the lymphatics and the immune system. We'll do the lungs, the respiratory, the GI tract, digestive. We'll do the urinary, and then the reproductive. We also have two other chapters in there which are going to be a challenge. One is metabolism and nutrition, and that's going to be biochemistry, guys. And the second one is going to be acid base and some others. We'll go over this in the schedule. Now, you know, there's AMP classes, you have to be prepared to deal with frank discussions on things that most people consider to be private. It's the nature of the material. It's the nature of your career choice that you're looking for, that you have to do this. It's not a problem. Here's the thing. We always use clinical language. We never, ever, ever use slang terms for genitalia or anything else. That's a no-no. The other thing is you need to get comfortable with discussing this. When you go into healthcare, you're going to need to be able to talk to people. You're going to have to talk to them about their sexual life. You're going to have to talk to them about their bowel movements. And if you are not professional and calm and at ease with it, then you're going to get them all flustered. So this is just, it's part of it, guys. You're just going to have to learn it. But of course, we're doing reproductive in this semester, so it'll be a little bit more so than AMP1. They've got a whole list, and I'll show you that on Blackboard on what they expect. The grading scale is the same as for every class in Chattahoochee. The A's, the B's, C's, D's, and F's, they're the same range. Now, please note, Chattahoochee does not have an A- or an A+. It's an A. If you get a 90, if you get 120, it's still just an A. Because I get people get at the end of the semester upset. Because I only made a 91. I should have made 100. Lady, it's going to be an A. It doesn't matter, okay? Now, for this class in particular, let me tell you how we're going to get all of our grades. Basically, they all come from the test. This is the way the department has set it up, so I'm kind of having to go along with it. We have 4 tests during the semester, about every 2 to 3 chapters. I should go over this with you in the schedule. So these tests are each worth 20% of your grade, or 20 points. I don't want 100 points. The final exam is also 20% or 20 points. And that's where the totality of the points come from, all from that. The final exam is comprehensive. It's going to cover everything from day one to the last chapter. These exams, my exams usually are 50 questions. There can be diagrams in them. There can be drawings. I generally don't do pictures because they don't reproduce very well, but if I find one that I can. These are going to be multiple choice, true, false, and matching. The comprehensive final will be 100 questions. This is not made by me. This is made by the department. In general, there's a big overlap because, honestly, we all pull our questions from the same test bank. So, at the end of the semester, I'll do a big review for you guys that go over each one of the 4 tests because that's a good way to do a final review for the final. But as we say all the time, you need to start studying from that final from day one. It's only 2 months, so it's not quite as bad as the regular semester, but you'll be surprised what you can forget in 2 months. So what we learned at the beginning of the semester, you need to go back and revisit to keep it fresh in your memory. And I've got some things I'll talk to you guys about that maybe will help. Points, bonus points specifically. We have 2 things that make up 5% bonus points. Okay, the first one is the no-show quiz. I'll tell you more about that, but it's basically just a pre-test. They just want to see how much you know before you come in here. It does not matter what you make on it. If you make 10 or if you make 100, I'm going to give you 1 point. Now, that 1 point does not go on a test grade. That goes on your final grade. The other 4 points that do the same go on your final course grade. Is going to be from the homework. So, unfortunately, this one, it does matter how much you make. So, I'll just pull some numbers out of my hat, just out of thin air. Say we had 200 points in our homework, and you got 100 of them. 100 divided by 200 is 1/2. 1/2 times 4 is 2 points. If you got 75% of them, you would have 3. If you get all 100, you'll have 4. So it's proportional. But again, these guys go straight on the actual course grade. So these are pretty good. Bonus for the exams, I will probably do some quizzes and use those and add those as bonus points. I'm still turning it over in my head. I used to do bonus questions on the exam, but I think it might be better for us to do quizzes. We'll talk more about that when we get together. Okay, guys, there's just the pie chart that shows how it's divided into 5 equal segments. Subject matter we've already talked about. You got to be professional. And for that reason, I ask you not to use profanity in my classroom. Be professional. It doesn't matter what your patients do. We are going to be professional and not do that. Okay, makeup and late work. We'll talk about the homework when we get to Blackboard and I can show you, but if you miss an exam, that is an automatic 0. But you can make up that exam, only one single exam at the end of the semester. I usually do it the week before the final. So you can make it up. You can make up 2. You can make up 1. You miss 2, you've got a problem because one of those is going to have to be a 0. Now, I will also replace your lowest grade on your 4 exams with the grade on the final. Unless the final was the lowest, then I won't replace it because that would cost you points. That would be doofus. As far as these, it won't be the exact same exam that the rest of the class takes, but it'll be the same format, 50 questions, the same mixture and all that. So that's the way we do this. Now, one other thing about the exams I should have mentioned earlier. So since the final is cumulative, I really feel like I should give you a review of the exams after we take them. Well, I tried that. And about 10 years ago, I figured out I can't do this because it kept eating up class time and we kept getting further and further behind. So what I do is I will make a copy of the test with all the correct answers in red. It's an answer sheet. Once you finish taking a test, you give me your Scantron. You can take your paper test and go and look at that and review it. After you get finished, you give me your paper test and you go your way. I will do that as long as everybody returns their paper test. If somebody walks off with one of those paper tests and they are numbered, then I will stop doing this. It's a privilege. And if it's not, if you guys don't do your part, then it's just going to go away. I don't want to do that, and I've only had to do that one time, and I think in the last 2 or 3 years. But some people walk off with my test, and that's a big no-no. Okay, no-show. This, I told you, it's a pre-test. I don't know what this is exactly for. About 12 or 13 years ago, they came out with this, and I believe it has something to do with financial aid and the federal government. But here's the thing. They require that the very first week of class that I have a graded activity from you to verify that you were present. That's what the no-show test is. It's online, and I'll show you more about that when we get to Blackboard. But you must do that within that time frame, or you will be reported to the school, because I have to do that, and they will drop you from the class. And this will be after the drop ad, so you won't be able to get back in. Do it. It doesn't matter what you score on it. You're going to get the bonus point. So just do it, and I haven't had anybody accidentally done this way. Most folks that do this purposefully want to get out of the class. And I don't have anything to say about that. That's not anything. Okay, there's the no-show. Attending class. I keep a record because they make me. You're not going to get any extra points if you're there, and I'm not going to take any points away if you're not there. And I do have videos online, and some folks have thought that that's a substitute for coming into class, and it's not. The experience I've had is folks that stay out of class and just watch my videos without any interaction from the class usually don't do so good. You won't do as well if you don't come to class. That's it. Not because of me, but just simply because you won't be as ready for those exams as you would otherwise. So again, you're an adult, you make your own choice, but understand that the consequences of that choice is your responsibility. If you choose not to come to class, you can't come crying to me of, oh, I didn't do so good on this. Well, you got to come to class. Uh, if you have to miss for something, and things happen, guys, I understand, especially on a test day, please try to let me know in advance if you can. I know some things come up at the last minute. We'll see, okay? If you're out, get with someone in the class about what we talked about. Um, we'll see what we can do with that. As far as coming in late, well, traffic is unpredictable. There are times I get in late because it rained or the traffic's exceptionally heavy or there's a wreck or whatever have you. That's fine. I understand. I don't have a problem with it. This isn't elementary school. You don't need a tardy slip. What you need to do is just come into the class as quietly as possible, because I have to start at the beginning time because we have so little time and I can't afford to waste it. It's that tight. As far as the schedule, I've got a separate paper and I'll be going over that in just a minute. Grades, I try to keep all your grades in percentages except for the homework grades, because I have to add those up and then do some arithmetic with it. So it's better for me to keep it. You can kind of figure out, I mean, a lot of the homework assignments are like 4/10 of a point or something like that, 2/10. If you got 0.1 out of 0.2, you can figure you got 50%. If you need some help with that, I can try to help you understand that and do that. But guys, I am absolutely not infallible. And so you need to make sure that the grades you get are accurately put in, because I can make a mistake. Something else we haven't talked about, but we'll talk about it right now. In going with that, now your test, I usually get those graded and posted the same day. Now, if you look at that and you have any questions about it, if you think maybe I didn't put the right grade in, or maybe I misgraded it, which it's really the machine that does that, but nonetheless, what you can do is just let me know, and you and I'll get together, and I'll let you see your Scantron or whatever and the answer sheet. You can go through it and look at it and make sure that nothing happened to unjustly take points away from you. Okay? But if you have any questions about anything about your grade, let me know. I'll be glad to do it. Like I say, I am just human. I will definitely make a boo-boo every once in a while, no matter how hard I try. And I'm good with you calling me out on it because I want you to get what you've earned. Okay? Copyright, as far as this, is the only thing I can talk about is me. I don't really have a big thing about that. I prefer that you not take something that recording of me and post it. I prefer you use it just for your own use or for your study group. Some folks don't like to have videos. They're okay with audio. Most folks I found really just do the audio. You really don't need a video of me. If you do, then you can look online and I'll show you, because I've got videos that are key to each one of our PowerPoints. So that's already available. Etiquette. If you need to receive a call or you need to make a call, I understand. Get up and quietly go out into the hallway and take care of your business and then come on back. Don't make phone calls or receive phone calls in class while we're having the lecture. That's just a really bad thing. Let's see. Uh, One other thing I need to tell you about now. Only people that are on the roll can be in the classroom. Your friends can't come in with you. Your family can't come in with you. And the school prefers that we don't have children on the campus because they say our insurance doesn't cover that. So I don't know. They just don't want children in the school at all. Uh, yeah, I can move you from one place to another if I think it's necessary. Usually it's because of disruption or because I have reason to believe that there's collaboration going on between more than one person when the test is being given. I have done that before. Haven't had to do it for a while, but I can do that and I will. Email etiquette. Not a whole lot I can say about that. Guys, I mean, you don't have to do all this stuff. But this is one thing I would do, and this is not an etiquette thing. This is just so you can get a quick answer. Now, I look at my email all the time, and if you send me an email and you put, I'm in biology 2114 or A&B2, then I can quickly look and try to answer your question. If you don't put that, then I'm going to have to look and I may have to put it off because in between classes I don't have a lot of time. So if you want a faster response, put your class in. Their class number, that CRN, would be actually the best thing, but at least tell me which class you're in, A&P 1 or 2, lab or lecture. Got 2 A&P 1 labs, but that doesn't concern you guys right here. Okay. But you can send me emails on the weekends too. I'll try to get back to them, but I do have a pretty big honey-do list, so. AI, we don't do a lot with AI in our thing, so I really don't see that that's going to be an issue for us. Not like some of the other classes that require you to do like term papers and things. Academic integrity. Oh my goodness, what can I say about that? Cheaters make my blood boil. Here's the thing. You want to go into healthcare, you want to take care of people's mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and children and grandparents and husbands and wives. If you cannot be trusted not to cheat on a stupid little test in school, you don't need to be anywhere near those folks. Sometimes I will have video equipment out. It's in the syllabus. I didn't look at it, but we can have video equipment out to monitor the classroom because sometimes I have to talk to people and I can't watch the entire class. But here's the thing, if you get caught cheating, I will give you a 0 for that exam. I will try to give you a 0 for the course. I will try to see if I can persuade them to expel you from the school permanently. Now, just because I'm going to try to do this doesn't mean they're going to do it, but it won't be because I won't be trying. I have no use for cheaters. If you want to cheat, maybe you should go into financial stuff. You fit right in, but not in healthcare. Okay, what is cheating? Well, copying somebody, allowing somebody to copy you. Yep. Smartphones, smartwatches, it is actually You cannot have a smartphone on you or a smartwatch while you're taking an exam. If you do, that's an automatic 0. Everything you're going to put everything but your Scantron and your pencil up in front. Don't forget your phones. It's not going to be good if you do. Let's see, stealing an exam, I don't think I have any problem. Letting somebody cheat off of you. You're an accomplice. You're not going to be able to do that, at least not with me. Falsifying, we're not going to be doing that. That's for somebody else. Any kind of cheating is, it's bad. If it happens, then I will file the complaint. You'll have a hearing, and there'll be a committee that will look into it. You will have all of your civil rights in that matter, but I will prosecute as hard as I can, and I may not get it, but it won't be because I won't be trying. So some of the college policies, the withdrawal, your email account, we've talked about distance learning. We don't do a lot of that in this class, but those are links that take you to the place where you can look at that and find out. If you have any problems, they've got a help desk and a technology answer. And actually, the people in the Success Center can help you with any kind of tech support to a degree. We'll talk more about that when we get to the Blackboard site. The computer labs, good place to find things. Success Center, they've got computers. The libraries, you'll go to the library to actually get your Scantrons. They're free. If I were you, I'd get all 5 of them that I need so that you'll be in good shape. Those Scantrons need to be unwrinkled. If you give them to me wrinkled, I'll take them. I won't be able to run it through the machine, so it will be the last one that I do when I have time. I mean, it's not me being the jerk. It's just, if I can't run it through the machine, I have to hand grade it. I have to have time, which will probably slow down getting your grade. See, equity, we've got all of these folks. We've got Title IX, Section 508. We've got veteran. We have got, I'll go a little bit beyond this. If you've got any kind of problem at all, there is somebody at this school whose job it is to help you with it. We have got a pretty comprehensive staff that can take care of all of your problems. Now, if you are having trouble finding the exact person, let me know. I'll find it for you. And I've done it before. We'll find somebody that can help you with your problem, okay? You got all kinds of help at this school. To fall out, you have to really just do nothing. If you do nothing, then you're letting your problem go, then it's on you. Because we're all glad to help you. The courses are accessible. We've actually got a program that checks that. As far as the warranty statement, that's really more for your employer than for you. And what it says is, if we say that you are competent in something and you get on the job and you're not, we will retrain you for free. Accreditation, we've got our accreditation. I don't know how, I think we get it 2 to 4 years at a time. We just got accredited again just a little while back. Okay, guys, that is everything on the syllabus. So please make sure that you go through this and go through the actual syllabus and be prepared for that. Now, I have got to take this one out and let me get the other one up. Okay. All right, guys, let me get this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. This is our schedule. Now, I try to I try my best to follow this, and a lot of times I can. A lot of times I don't have a lot of problems with it. Sometimes it's not going to be possible to do. And also, I have to see, because not every chapter is equally difficult. Some topics have in general been more difficult for most of the students than others. So I want to be a little bit flexible with the time. Some of these things we can go through in 30 minutes, easy. Some of them, it's going to take a little longer. So this is the intended schedule, but don't, think that it's inviolable, because it's not. Sometimes we're going to have to be flexible on this. Okay, so obviously the first week, we were supposed to do all of this on the first day. We're doing this video. Do not come to class on Wednesday the 28th. I will not be there. You've got this video instead. And I'm going to send you an announcement and everything else. So hopefully somebody will get the message. Okay. So as far as this you can go through on your own. And then when we come back on the 2nd, we can discuss that. That one on the blood, that's going to be a very easy chapter. Heart, a little bit more involved. So we'll be able to get this in there. So the endocrine and the blood, and then the heart. Now our first exam is going to be on the 9th, and it's going to be just over these two chapters, 17 and 18. After we take that exam, we're going to go over the blood vessels. There's a little bit of physiology in there, but it's basically not that bad. Following that, we do the lymphatics and the immune system. The immune system has got a little bit with it, so it's a little bit deep. And on the 16th, we'll be doing our second. 1 week between exams. Sometimes it works that way, guys. But again, we're going to kind of, within the limits of 2 months, we're going to try to make this work out so that it's sensible. Because I really want you to have a little bit of time with the heart, because there's a lot of physiology there. Lymphatics, exam 2. After that, we start on the lungs, the respiratory. Then you guys will notice right here, I've got the digestive for 2 separate days. We may or may not need that, but we're going to be flexible. And then following the GI tract, we're going to be doing metabolism and nutrition. That is pure biochemistry. You may not like it, but it's what we got. We got to do it. Okay, the week of the 4th of July, which is about halfway through the semester, the entire week is a holiday for you guys. So you don't come to school. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Following that, we're going to have exam 3 over 22, 23, and 24. And we'll probably start urinary system right there. We may have 2 days for that. It just depends on how well and how easy it is for you guys to pick up on this. We'll see. Then we do the fluid and the electrolytes and then the acid base. This is very important and this is very clinically significant. So it's got to be, guys. Sorry. Now, July 16th is an important day. That is the last day that you can withdraw from the class and get a W. If you don't do that, then if you don't do well, then you can't withdraw. You just have to ride that thing down and crash and burn. Now, let me tell you two things that I have seen people do that are a terrible mistake. First one is they don't withdraw when they need to. They have done so poorly that even if they got hundreds on everything else, they still would flunk. In other words, it is impossible to pass the class. And then I see people who had one bad test and they threw a panic and then they jumped out. They didn't need to. They would have came out probably with a very good grade if they had stuck it out. Now, you're not required to talk to me before you withdraw, but do it. I mean, come on, guys. You're putting a lot of time and money and work into this. Don't jump. If you need to withdraw, I'll honestly tell you that. But if you don't, I'll be glad to crunch some numbers for you and let you know how you stand. But in any case, if you need to withdraw, you got to do it by that date or that's it. Okay, the 9th week, we've got the reproductive system, male, female, and the physiology. And then we got that last test over 25, 26, and 27. Tentatively, we're going to do the review there, and the final exam will be on the last day for us, which is July 30th. And that's pretty much everything on the schedule. And I'm going to show you in just a few minutes where you can find all of this stuff. There's 2 places I'm going to take you to, and we'll take care of that. Okay, let's get rid of that for right now. And let me close that down. Now, let's see. Okay, yep. Okay. Let's see, guys. I think I could probably do that right there. Okay, let me get this guy up. Okay. So right here this is my OneDrive. Now on my OneDrive, I have a file called Summer 2025. Inside that, I have got a file folder for each one of my classes. What I'm going to do is when we get it, I'm going to share that with you so you can access this folder. Inside this folder, you're going to find several things. First thing you're going to see is you're going to see that schedule that we just talked about. You're going to see the syllabus. Those diagrams, we'll get to that later. Here's the real chunky part of it. This is where you're going to find all the PowerPoints. Now, there are PowerPoints on Blackboard, but Blackboard Blackboard gives me a limit on how much stuff I can put on there. OneDrive has a much more generous allowance, so I keep everything on OneDrive. Now there are stuff on there, but I would get it from here. And you can see all of these are there. These guys have been broken up into chunks to try to make them a little bit easier to deal with. Okay. So there's the PowerPoint. Study aids, Cornell notes. Those are really good if you want them. This is great. How to take notes in a science class, how to succeed in a science class, test taking tips. And this is one, if you're not happy with your first exam, I need to get rid of that. Oh, well. If you're not happy, then you should take this quiz to see if you're doing this the right way. Okay, study aids. Videos, these are not my videos. I will show you my videos in just a moment. Okay, there is videos on the endocrine system. They're great. They're not mine, but they're good. Professor Dave.
Professor Dave here. I want to tell you.
No, Professor Dave is a little bit advanced. Probably wouldn't do that, but anyway, there are different videos in here. There's a crash course, and some of the ones that the publishers make, they're fine. And then some worksheets. These are broken up by chapters. Not bad. All of those would be good. Some of these are really going to be more lab appropriate than it. Oops. Just let me go back to my OneDrive. I wasn't really finished because there's one other thing I want to show you guys. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty much all on that. But right here, that's going to be the link to my YouTube channel. And I'm actually going to go there with you guys so you can kind of take a look. So we're done with this. That's the wrong one. Let's go to this one. Okay, even if you don't have the link, if you'll just put in Dr. McDonald classes, it'll come right up. That's my channel. Matter of fact, all of those. There used to be another guy. There he is. But he teaches, I think he teaches Bible study. Or I may be wrong, I don't know. But in any case, you go to the blue ball that has the medical caduceus in it. You come here, go to the playlist, and then you just find the one that's for you guys. For the lecture is going to be 2114. You go in there and you're going to see a PowerPoint or a video for each PowerPoint. I try to keep them about 30 minutes long. That one went over, but because I really don't want you guys to have to sit there for excessively long periods of time. Sometimes I didn't do so good. Sometimes it did go up to an hour. But that's where you're going to find all the videos. That's where you're going to find this video, which I will have in an announcement and I'll have the link to this channel. Matter of fact, I'll have the link. Well, I have the link to this channel. So I'll give you all that information in the announcement. But this is where you go to get those videos. That's pretty much it on that. Now, Blackboard. Here's our Blackboard channel. And I'm going to put it in a student view so you can see this is what it's going to look like to you guys. Yay, there I am. Okay, here's the first place you want to go. There's the syllabus and the schedule. Again, you can get it from here or you can get it from the shared folder. Here's the no-show quiz. It has to be done by June 4th. I've got a week. That's all we have. You don't study for it. You don't do anything. You just go in there and you take it. Doesn't matter what you make on that pre-test. It's not going to count on your grade. And I'm going to give you 1 point no matter what you make on it. So do it. It will keep you in the class. There's one that tells you how to get around on this new Blackboard. Oof, it's a mess. Okay, there's your homework. There's 3 for the endocrine system. All the homework that we have, every single bit of it, is due on July 27th. That's going to be the last Sunday at midnight before the final. I'm giving you the entire semester to do this homework. And that means I'm not going to give you any extensions. Because maybe the most valuable lesson you need to learn is not to put things off to the last minute. If you wait till Sunday to start doing all this and something happens and you have a stomach virus calling me and telling me, please open it up, I'm going to say, I am so sorry. You need to learn responsibility. That's the most important thing I can teach you. End of discussion. Here's those learning activities, outcomes. You can do that. There's the textbook that I was telling you guys about. Let's see, get rid of that. There is the chapter. Somewhere around here. Anyway, if you want that, it's right there. Study and review. There's some lecture notes and study notes. I did not make these, guys. Take it the way you want. Here's a chart that helps you fill in for the hormones. I mean, look at all this stuff because, I mean, it could be pretty good. Let's get rid of that. Video resources. The Amoeba Sisters. If you haven't found these guys out in AMP1, get to know them. They are not going to tell you everything you need to know for college level A&P. But if you are new to a subject, they are the best place to start, without doubt. You're totally lost, go talk to these guys. They will explain it to you in an easy to understand fashion. And then you can start going beyond what they were talking about into what we need. Crash Course is really good. Guy talks fast, but that's okay. Khan Academy, very good. So those video resources are really good. And you can go, if you're having trouble on a certain topic, like, say, blood coagulation, how does the blood form a clot? Go to YouTube and put in blood coagulation animation. You'll have it. So we've got these for everyone. Actually, I don't think I do have the PowerPoints here. That's good because they're better on where I've got them. Okay, guys, that's pretty much well it. Got it all the way through here. Oh, let me tell you about these. These are pre-test. These are simply to let you know how ready you are to take the exam. So what you need to do is take these. They're not going to count against you. And find out where your weak areas are and bone up on them before you take the test. They're open. It's up to you. You can do it or you can't. Okay. I think we are pretty much well done with that one. Okay. Let me finish up and I'll say this. If you haven't figured this out from AMP1, you cannot passively absorb all this information. It's not possible, okay? You have to actively go after it. The best way for you and I to do this is for you to skim through the chapter in the book, look at the PowerPoints, watch my videos, and then come to class the next day and ask me questions. We've got 2.5 hours a week, and just like every other college in the U.S., that is not enough time to cover the material. In college classes, you're expected to do most of your learning outside the class, and when you get to class, I help you with the things that you are having difficulty grasping. Don't come to class and say, I don't understand any of it. Then you need to go look at it again. You need to go through all this stuff until you can grasp. Usually, you should be able to at least half of it. May not the same half as somebody else, but you should be able to grasp at least half of it. And find out what you don't know so we can work on that. I'm not really a nanny, so it wouldn't do a whole lot of good for me just to stand there and read the PowerPoints to you. It's not like a bedtime story. Could probably put you to sleep, but I don't know. I'm just working on the assumption that you want to do as good as possible because you want to go and get into a program. I'm telling you how to do it. If you don't want to do it my way, that's fine. You do it your way. If it works for you, then I'm happy for you. If it doesn't work for you, then all I can say is I told you so. I'm not going to be able to have any empathy for you if you're going to sit there in the class and try to absorb enough information from what I'm talking about to pass the class. It's not going to work. In any case, guys, those of you in AMP2 lab, I will be making a video on that very shortly. And you'll also have access to that because that's also going to be a class that won't be happening that Wednesday. Basically the same, but there's some differences in what we do in the lab. And most of you guys probably already know this, but in any case, after you've watched this, if you still have any questions, shoot me an email. I can respond by email and answer your questions. Or I can tell you the following Monday. It doesn't matter. You let me know if you have any questions and I'll be good with it. Okay? Well, I hope this helped. I hope some of this is clear. But I will see you guys very shortly. And in the meantime, let me know if I can help. Thanks.